The 19th of July, 1944. Normandy. German armored units continue to move according to plan. Routes are approved, distances calculated, fuel allocations fixed down to the kilometer. Inside headquarters, officers review maps and tables with calm confidence. Allied air attacks are not ignored, but they are already included in the calculations. Aircraft appear, strike, and leave. The exposure time is short. Losses are predictable. According to Doctrine, as long as more tanks are moving forward than being destroyed, the system is functioning. On paper, everything makes sense. Growing up, I often heard my elders say that wars are not lost because soldiers are weak, and they are not won simply because weapons are strong. They are lost when people keep following old rules in a world that has already changed. At the time, it sounded like philosophy. Years later, when I studied this campaign more closely, when the first read operational records, after-action reports, and modern military research, I realized that this idea explains Normandy better than any single battle description. What failed here was not courage, it was not numbers, it was assumption. By late July 1944, German frontline units begin reporting heavier Allied air activity. At first, nothing appears alarming. Some columns are attacked, others pass untouched. Some days are worse, some days are quiet. Headquarters treats this as normal variation. The system is built to absorb noise. Individual incidents are averaged out, filtered, and compared against historical baselines. As long as losses remain within tolerance, no change is required. But slowly, something begins to change on the roads. Columns that are attacked once are attacked again. Routes cleared early in the morning become dangerous again before noon. Bridges repaired quickly are struck again within hours. Engineers repair them, reopen them, and then lose them again. None of these incidents violates Doctrine on its own. Together, however, they point to something new. The system does not recognize it because it has no variable to describe it. The German model still assumes that air attacks are independent events. One aircraft, one pass, one short window of danger. The average exposure time remains 60 seconds. That number has worked before. It worked in earlier campaigns. It worked against other enemies. It is trusted because it is familiar. What German planners do not yet understand is that Allied air power has changed its structure. Aircraft are no longer acting independently. Forward air controllers are now operating close to the front. Targets are identified on the ground and shared instantly by radio. Aircraft already in the air are reassigned in real time. A single sighting now triggers a sequence of attacks. This changes everything, without changing anything that is measured. Each individual attack still lasts about a minute. The system continues to count sorties. The math still closes. What is missing is the interval between attacks. The exposure window stretches without being noticed. A column that survives one pass becomes a reference point for the next aircraft. Fuel is no longer the main limitation. Coordination is. By the end of July, losses begin to rise. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just enough to matter. Repair depots report longer queues. Vehicles that were expected to return to service within 72 hours now take 4 days, then 5. Replacement tanks continue to arrive from the east, but not fast enough to compensate. The crossing point is reached quietly, inside a spreadsheet, where daily losses begin to exceed daily recovery. Have you ever wondered how a powerful military can collapse, not with a bang, but with a whisper? Let's go back to August 1944. On paper, the German war machine was a model of efficiency. Spacing was perfect, routes were authorized, and everything operated exactly as designed. But there was a problem. The system was designed for a world that no longer existed. Every attempt to reduce exposure to air attacks actually increased it. Longer routes to avoid strikes burned more fuel. More fuel stops created stationary targets, which were easier to hit. It became a vicious cycle. Losses didn't just add up, they compounded. Then, the system's lifeblood, fuel and parts stopped arriving. Vehicles sat idle, not destroyed, but unusable. A tank without fuel or a crew is just a statistic on a map. Decisions were being made with outdated information. The system didn't fail loudly. It simply became irrelevant. It proves that systems don't break under pressure. They break when they can't adapt to a reality that has already changed.